So my fiance just told me this story. And she was at a sports store in San Francisco, and then she walked in. There was 3 staff there chatting. Didn't say hello, didn't acknowledge her existence, right? And then she tried a few things on, and then she asked them something like, "Excuse me, can you help me?" Yeah, no socks. They've only got trio pairs. Is there place to just have 1 pair? So it's a pretty standard question. And the person just said extremely nonchalantly, "The socks are over there." So basically just disregarding her question, because Katia already acknowledged that she'd seen the socks. She just wanted to know if there's a particular place where they sell individual pairs. And then we had this long discussion about how they would appreciate, and she would appreciate, from holding them accountable for their actions, from acknowledging the fact that even if you're an average job, not your dream job, it can be extremely beneficial for your character development. Like, I've had a lot of tough jobs in the past. I've done roof tiling, I've done hospitality, I did bartending 12-hour shifts. I was supporting my ex-girlfriend, and she was out partying with my friends, and I was there just like getting my soul fucking crushed, right? Just hanging out with all these FIFO workers, just getting drunk and farting and just trying to crack on to these average, terrible women. And, I've done jobs where, like, construction jobs, we're hanging out with all these 50-year-olds and all like massive potheads, and they're so fucking grumpy, and they're really extremely aggressive, and they tell you to do a job like jackhammer this concrete wall that's all these rocks falling on your head. And it's fine, but they won't give you specific instructions about, which tool to use or where to do it. I just started this job, and then they'll come over and be like, "You fucking idiot, moron, you can't." And, but now I can handle abuse, and like, I can deal with long hours, I can deal with emotional hardship. And so now my current job, doing social work, I have a very thick skin, and I don't let it get to me. I've heard horror stories of abuse, and I don't let it get to me. So every single job you have, like working fast food at KFC in Warnbro, the busiest store in Western Australia, I was like the main kitchen hand there, and I was like dropped out of school. I went to year 11 after not doing 8, 9, or 10. I just did year 11 for half a year. I didn't like it. I mean, I was passing, but my parents just advised me to drop out and work full time at KFC. And I did went to university, just passed these entrance exams, and ended up going to a prestigious university for doing Bachelor of Psychological Science after not doing 8, 9, 10, 11. I just did 1 to 7 in Australia, and then did university. But the point is, at KFC, it was extremely tough, but I was really, really social introverted, and quite depressed at the time. And I learned some skills. Like, I had some status because I was like the quickest kitchen hand anyone ever seen. And in KFC, they get the chicken in fresh, and you gotta wash it, and then you gotta bread it in all the flour and seasoning, right? And I got fucking pretty jacked in my arms just from, you still got these strange muscles just from breading up the chicken at KFC. And I did it as quick as I could, and I tried hard at that job, because no matter what the job is, you should try to do at least okay in it. But if you could aim for greatness in that job, it's going to do wonders, because then that will carry on different parts of your life. If you try to work as hard as you can at KFC, or in roof tiling, or in bartending, or in social work, you put your heart and soul into that, that will carry on to all aspects of life. And it'll rub off. So you might be in an interview for your dream job, and they'll ask about your jobs when you're a kid, or a young adult, and you'll be like, "Yeah, that's right, I worked at KFC, I was roof tiling, I worked in hospitality, bartending for many years, and did 12-hour shifts, and did management, and I rebuilt these bridges at the docks in Fremantle. I had these giant concrete blocks falling on my head. It's like, just there for hours and hours, and all these, grumpy old stoners just fucking abusing you, calling you names all the time." And but I learned so much from that. I got really thick skin. So was an incredible experience. And so basically, um, you have a moral duty to hold people accountable. So if there's three staff just talking smack and not acknowledging your existence in a retail store, and then you ask for help, they act like you're retarded and they treat you extremely disrespectfully, you can just say, what am I, like a piece of shit to you? Like, just say one thing and then they'll be acknowledged that they were underachieving in their job. And I know California, it's famous for being like this victim mentality. They feel like the rich man bring you down, and all white people are evil. And Katia said the staff were white, but basically in California, they don't act white. They don't act European. They feel like they're victims. They feel like they're permanent victims, and that the system is so corrupt, man, and the man is bringing you down, and that you should be even happy I'm even here, even to do beep, 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 beep. Like they're trying like 2 out of 10 in their work. But, if you're tired, you got depression, if you're unhealthy, you can still do 4 out of 10 or 5 out of 10 with your work. You should aim to do 8 or 9 out of 10, but most of the time 4 or 5 is okay. But if you're doing 2 out of 10 effort, you're just making the world a worse place. But then it's, like I was saying to my fiance, it's up to her as well to hold these people accountable, because people appreciate that. It'll be good for her because people love people who hold each other accountable in a tactful way. Now, I'm not saying to say to a shop assistant that you think I'm a piece of shit. It's not exactly too tactful, but you're not just calling them an asshole. You're still using communication techniques to show that you're hurt. You're not accusing them, you're just saying, I feel hurt by this. That's a skill I learned in counseling at Deakin, was that instead of saying to someone like, you're a bad person for not returning my phone call, you say, I feel hurt that you did not return my phone call. So it leaves open the opportunity for them to defend themselves, because you don't know exactly the reason why they didn't return your phone call. And then, so those people in the shop, they're going to sort of rub off on them eventually that even though they're not their dream job, they should still try at least 4 out of 10. Because there's people out there in this world, in India and China and many other countries, they're getting paid $1 a day, right? They have nets at these iPhone factories to stop all these people trying to kill themselves. So even in a sports store in California, yes, you may only be on like $15 an hour, which is like $25 Australian. But if you're not an alcoholic, if you're not an OnlyFans-holic, and you're, tactful with where you live, and you're not having a giant sports car, you can still save like $100 a week. You do that for a year, you got $5,000. With $5,000, you can put the deposit in for any course you want. So, don't be like thinking that your life's so shit just because you know your dream job, right? And you have a responsibility to tactfully hold people accountable if they treating you like shit.